Okay, Tuesday here with Longshore and McKnight, jumping right into the deep end. Glad you're with us here. Another big game week, and Barry, certainly a lot of reactions still to what happened last Saturday.
Yep.
As people try to figure that out and look ahead to see what where they might be positioning themselves for the remainder of the season.
Yep, I'm telling you, and not just Saturday, but Sunday as well as the Major League season ended. I see where you're headed with this, and I appreciate that. All of that action last weekend, everybody buzzing about it and wondering where it leaves their team for the remainder of the season. Well, in the wild card playoffs today. Oh, is that not what you were? Okay. Well, 4 games, Major League Baseball today, starting at noon. Detroit versus Cleveland.
Man.
San Diego at Chicago against the Cubs. Boston and the Yankees. You kidding me? Cincinnati and the Dodgers. John, I'm glad you led off with this because I am geeked up about all of this.
Wondering what's being preempted. What regularly scheduled programming is getting kicked to the curb to watch baseball?
Ooh, throat clear and 1.5 tongue pops.
There's got to be some jazzercise competitions or one of the many talk shows that are on these sports channels, or I mean, heck, getting The View on in the afternoon. I think ABC's carrying one of these games today. I'm thinking, gee whiz, how they preempting that? But yeah, 4 straight games.
Woo! It's not a surprise that John has to ask, hey, isn't The View on? Is that still, are they still on? Do they still do that? Am I right? Rosie O'Donnell or somebody?
Isn't Divorce Court on in the afternoon or something?
Well,
yeah.
3 of the games today are on ESPN. Yep, a triple header.
Unbelievable.
Of wild card series baseball. The second game of 4, the 2:00 Central Time start between the Cubs and the Padres, that's going to be on ABC.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you.
The Edge of Night, preempted. General Hospital,
Secret Storm. What were the ones at my? Let's see. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Yes.
Yeah. I got to admit, I don't watch any of that.
I will give them credit. They have stacked them in different time slots, so they probably won't have one game overlapping another. Do you think it's kind of interesting that the Yankees and the Red Sox are starting early? But I guess the Dodgers are hosting a game out on the West Coast, so they had to broadcast that one last tonight. But there's first pitch for the Red Sox-Yankees game.
It's at 5:08, and it's on ESPN. I'm with you. You got one national over-the-air network that's carrying a game. That's ABC, and they got Cubs and the Padres. The networks are rejoicing over this. I mean, if let me put it in the wording, in the verbiage of network executive director John Longshore. Hey, if we got to carry baseball, why not have Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles all in the wild card round? Give us as much of them as we can. Give us as much of them as we have to fulfill this baseball contract, this millstone around our neck. If we got to carry them, let's carry the big markets where we stand a prayer of even approaching breaking even.
Well, what I think is going to be really tough for people to digest is when the television ratings come out. And it is reported that actually the Days of Our Lives, the Edge of Night, and General Hospital all outrated Major League Baseball games that were played during the afternoon. And that's really going to hit the baseball people hard, squarely across the face. And then ESPN is probably going to be rethinking, what are we doing here?
At least when he was gigging the Obs, he used to bring up The Flavor of Love on VH1. That was actually still a program. I don't think it still is.
I don't think it is either.
And it was on VH1, which I think is still going on, as opposed to The Edge of Night, which probably hasn't been going on for like 50 years. The Edge of Night.
Yes.
I remember that one. So, the
Hey, Bob's coming strong today.
yeah, Bob's been thoroughly caffeinated. He said, I almost wrecked my car because the baseball talk has made me doze off. Brutal. Bob, there's a great, big, beautiful world.
Well, I want to get to Bob's earlier post in just a minute. I don't want to jump ahead because Barry,
Bob says, please jump ahead.
Yeah, even though it is baseball, I guess. And I know what people out there are asking. Hey, John, do you plan on watching any of these games today? Don't you people know me well enough by now? Really? No, I don't. Well, I might peek in on one. More on that later.
He is grateful that Cowherd is not on ESPN anymore.
Yeah, at least
so he can go
FS1
eat his
isn't.
lunch with his ham sandwich.
That's right.
And not be subjected to Cowherd being preempted for the Tigers and the Guardians.
You know what's even worse, though, Barry? Sometimes World Cup soccer will be on and they'll preempt Cowherd, and I'm going, what are we doing here? I mean, what? But anyway, Barry, Tuesday is normally known during the football season is really reality day. I've noticed over the years that's when really the most criticism comes. Monday's kind of just feeling it out. What's everybody talking about? Let me hear what this guy has to say. Let me hear what that guy has to say. Then I'm going to form my opinion. I'm coming strong on Tuesday. And you would think we'd probably start right off with Auburn. I will make this announcement just for you people out there that are interested.
Here we go. This is the setup.
Philip is on vacation till Thursday. He's gone to Houston to see some family members. I found that out yesterday afternoon. I'm thinking, I know it's an off week, but, you know, there's a lot of talk going on about Auburn, but there's a lot of articles about the golf team and things like that. So
nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice.
Bob from Pike Road, Barry, after we got through with all the giddiness and the rah-rah and Bama's back in the playoff hunt and all this business, leave it to Bob from Pike Road, an astute football person, to really peel back the layers of the onion and go, folks, wait a minute. Giving up way too many rushing yards and aren't rushing the ball enough. Bob came with that early today, and I'm with you, Bob.
He came with it early yesterday when he was basking in the giddiness of Auburn losing to Texas A&M. You know, the Hugh Freeze clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can quote it verbatim. The disaster on the pasture. Today, I guess reality hits. Yeah. He mentioned a little bit about Bama yesterday. But today, Bob comes in. Bama won a huge game last week in Athens. The number one thing that concerns me is that Bama gave up 227 yards rushing. This can't continue, and Bama win enough to get into the playoffs. This is a major concern. And if the defense doesn't improve against the run, Bama won't get to where we want to go, which is the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they got to, George had a lot of long runs, broke a few off. Of course, when they got in the red zone, Bama took care of some business. You got to give them credit for that. But, yeah, I thought Georgia's ability to run the ball is something that's of concern, and other teams are going to take advantage of that. I think Alabama, we talked about this the last couple of weeks with Travis and with Rodney. What's up with the running game? It seems non-existent. I didn't see the running game in Athens either. And I know Ty Simpson's getting a lot of praise, and he certainly should get it. But, Barry, this team doesn't score a point in the second half. I mean, I guess they attempted a field goal. I mean, that was the worst excuse for a field goal I've ever seen.
At least it was between the pylons in the end zone. Woo, man, I'm telling you.
I don't know
I've
if it was.
hit tee shots like that before. But I do grant Georgia in that game, they ran for 227 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry.
Come on.
But if you look at the bright, this is what they're talking about across the river right now. This is what they're talking about. This is what they will be talking about after in Atlanta and Savannah and Hayhira and Columbus and all this. this is what they're going to be talking about after they watch Longshore and McKnight. You know, I'm sick to death of Kirby's visor. Man, can he put that visor on straight? I mean, that thing's all cockeyed because he does this 75 times and he doesn't pay attention to it. And he always, is yanking his head gear off and it's messing up. That bothers me. You know why that bothers you? It's the same reason why people on this program were giving us DeBoer's record in polo shirts and with hoodies on in black and in crimson.
He's 11-1 with the hoodie.
He lost to Florida State badly in the opener.
Yeah,
now,
polo
Kirby, they're like, Bob, your point is not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. Georgia ran for 227 yards, ran for 2 touchdowns, 7 yards per. But when Kirby had a chance to give his team a lead, for some reason, he goes hurry up like he's going to catch Alabama napping like some kind of gimmick. It's much more important that we try to get Bama on their heels on defense on that 4th down from in the red zone late in the ball game. It's more important that we get Bama on their heels than we make sure we get the right play call transmitted. We get everybody firing off the ball at the same time. And now there's some people over in Athens who say, yeah, Kirby's all right. He's one of ours, I suppose. But good Lord, until he gets over on Bama, they're in his head. He was scared to death of him. That's why he hurried that play, and it looked like a fire drill. And
Barry,
at least you stopped him on that run.
I think a lot of people are still trying to figure that out. Why not kick the field goal, just tie the game up? You're in a much better position. It goes back to the 4th and 11 when he faked the punt at midfield over in Atlanta. And you're thinking, what's up mindset? I don't understand it.
If he was playing
too gimmicky and tricky,
if he's playing in that game against Arkansas, he looks across the field and it's Kentucky, he does exactly that, John. He looks across the way, he sees it's Alabama, and I'm not saying he panicked, but I think it affected his thought process. Oh man, we got to do it. We got to do it now. We got to go. Let's go. Come on. And the Georgia fans are looking at him like they're looking at a beautiful Sports Illustrated swimsuit model who's missing a front tooth, or Cheryl Teagues, look her up, kids, and she's got bad breath. Man, he's won us a lot of games, and he won 33 in a row at home. I'll give you that. But man, I'm starting to believe what Bob from Pike Road over there in Alabama is saying, that they just can't beat Alabama. It doesn't matter. Well, okay, Saban's not there anymore. Here we go. The dominance is about to begin.
But Barry, if you give up 7 yards per rush,
yes, and they did
227 total, that's going to come back and bite you somewhere down the line. Whether it's Vanderbilt or Missouri or Tennessee or LSU, Oklahoma, or Auburn. Auburn doesn't run the ball, so I don't have to worry about them.
Don't even try.
Yeah. But one of those teams is going to burn you running the football. And obviously there's some injuries at Alabama. Quay Russo with the foot injuries out for the year.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt this defense. And so I just think that's a big concern. Everybody's gotten all wrapped up in the giddiness of the win, going over there. Didn't want to be 2-2 going into October. Ty Simpson looked great, but the run defense has got to tighten up. You got to still have that killer instinct in the second half. You got to be able to score some points at that point in time. It's time. It's a 24-hour rule. Everybody talked about it yesterday. Nationally, that's all everybody talked about. That and Penn State not being able to win a big game. But now it's time to turn the page, and this Vanderbilt team beat you last year, and they ran all up and down the field on you.
And
they beat you.
Don't look now. And the old school guys out there, they're very rightly looking at this. You know who the second best rushing team is right now in the SEC? The Vanderbilt Commodores, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. Do you know who is the third worst rushing team in the SEC.
I tell you, the first number one worst rushing team is, but the third.
The third worst. Alabama is
Yeah.
averaging 3.9 yards per carry.
In the 4 games Alabama's played, if you walked away going, man, this team can run the ball. Woo!
Alabama has, again, 3.9 yards per carry. Vanderbilt, 6.5. Vanderbilt has run for 18 touchdowns. Bama has rushed for
Now,
5.
I don't want anybody stealing my thunder and go, well, certainly they played Charleston Southern, Georgia State, Utah State, Vatech, who's terrible, and a South Carolina team that was beat up. I know people don't like to be looking at certain teams or defensive rankings when people are churning up stats, but if somebody wants to use that, go for it.
We give you free reign.
Yeah.
A little bit later on, we'll talk with Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Can't be all that overjoyed about what he saw at Texas A&M, or, a lot of what he saw, many things about what he saw. We'll check in with him. Also, Travis Ryer on YouTube a little bit later on as well. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Strap in.
Yes.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the river region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the river region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
Okay, back at it here. About 18 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday. A lot of great conversation on the River Region Straw chat line. Really appreciate that, as always. Yeah, I was thinking about what Bob wrote about today before we even got on the air, before I even saw what Bob was coming with today. I'm thinking, everybody's giddy, real happy. There was a little panic about going 2-2, but a big road win. The whole nation's talking about the game, whatever. But you got to peel the layers of the onion back. Am I the only one that's, and Bob thinking, man, you can't give up 227. You can't give up 7 yards per carry. That's going to come back to bite you.
Those are concerns. There's no doubt about it. Georgia's not bad at running the ball. They're actually pretty good. All right, you'll make me say it. If I had to, I like Georgia's running backs better than I like Alabama's running backs. I still haven't determined whether I like Georgia's running backs better than I like Auburn's running backs, because Auburn doesn't use their running backs. So I don't know.
And Barry, this might not be fair. I don't know. Is 4 games enough to know? And I think I brought this up before. There's just not a dominant running back at Alabama. They got some good ones,
yeah,
but they just don't have that bell cow running back that you've seen Golly, forever, it seems like. Even back, to the Johnny Musso days, they always had a really good, talented, standalone running back. And they just got a group of about 3 or 4 that are just kind of, they can get some of it done, but they're just not extremely, they don't separate themselves.
Wah.
It's a tough business out there. Yeah.
Where's the Derrick Henrys?
Yeah.
Where's the TJ Yeldons?
Sure.
Where's the Eddie Lacy's?
That's right.
Where's the Kenyon Drakes?
Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram.
Where are all of those guys?
Come on.
Oh, my gosh. How in the world are we ever going to? Okay.
Exactly
you knew sooner or later it ain't dried up, but it's gotten a little bit powdery over there in terms of running back talent.
Yeah.
Cry me a river. Oh, how are we ever going to get? I gotta admit, I wouldn't know this time last month. We're a month into the season. I wouldn't know last month Kevin Riley from Baba O'Reilly, from Bob Riley, from Jeannie C. Riley, who once sang, was it Harper Valley PTA?
How about John C. Riley?
Yes, very good. Cal in Shake and Bake in Talladega Nights. He looked like he was the hardest runner I saw out there for Alabama, and he's evident, I guess, a true freshman. I never heard of him before in my life.
Yeah, well, they gotta be a little bit more explosive in that run game.
But I will tell you this. This is for all of you naysayers out here. Ty Simpson is the best healthy quarterback in the SEC. I really, really like John Mateer of Oklahoma, but he ain't playing. Didn't play last week, and he ain't going to play for about 2 or 3 more weeks. Ty Simpson, you can win with that guy.
So tell me what happened, though. Well, what changed from Tallahassee to Athens?
It's the same reason why you've got a hot streak on the back 9 when you played like dog crap on the front 9. You hit a shot and think, all right.
No.
Then you hit another shot. Oh, and then this dicey little putt goes in, and you're thinking, all right, okay, I still got it. Here we go. And you go to the next tee, and you got a little spring in your step, and
the reason that you play better on the backside is because all the bets double. You're just going through that front 9 going, we're only playing for this. And then you get to the backside and everything automatically doubles. Then you start turning it on. They don't do that in football. At least I don't think the quarterback's doing that. But yeah. But this guy, and there again, a lot of talking heads out there yesterday just talking about his improvement from game 1 to game 4. I heard somebody say he looked like a freshman in game 1, then a sophomore, then a junior. He should look like a senior in Athens. That he did. Will he look like a graduate student against Vanderbilt like Diego Pavia is? We'll see. But he has improved. There's no doubt about that.
Is it a significant upgrade over the quarterback you guys had last year? Or the year before? What
are you guys asking think? Me?
I'm asking all of you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I made that point clear.
So let's not be spoiled. That's like me standing in a boat and saying, now, water, you stop being wet. Let's not be spoiled, Alabama fans.
Get your foot off the boat.
Upgrade at quarterback. But what you've learned about your team in a crucible like Athens, where no visiting team had come in and won in 33 straight games, what you've learned about your team can be summed up. It's easy to grin when your ship has come in and you got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when your shorts are too tight in the seat. And believe me, there were times on Saturday when I would not have faulted Ty Simpson for looking like his shorts were too tight in the seat. But you know what he said? Do the honors, Pookie.
Yes.
And he moved on. We can christen this victory the Flying Wasp.
Yes, they can.
Just come on, people.
Spalding,
I mean,
get
let's
your foot
be
off the boat.
realistic. Let's just be realistic out there. Your quarterback looks great. Your defense looks good enough. You didn't really get anything going on offense in the second half, but you had the lead. Your coach over there, your offensive coordinator over there, both of them coaching their brains out, both of them looking like they just came off of a Scotch ad. Life is good. It's, the guy who's hit the lottery. He's just closed on a multi-million-dollar house with his newfound winnings. That girl behind the cashiers at the local convenience store, all of a sudden she's paying attention to you now when you come in and you buy your Copenhagen and your Red Bull. And all of a sudden you're thinking, but man, my back's been hurting. Come on. Can you just enjoy it for a little while?
Well,
instead
you can't sit there and get fat and happy. You got to keep working. You got to be looking to your next opponent. Who's the guy trying to knock you down? And it's Vanderbilt.
That's the thing.
Bill from Baltimore, that's a good one. I wish I'd have thought about that too when we were talking about golf on the back nine.
Oh, I thought you were talking about won't be a problem against Auburn since Auburn won't run it at all.
That was a good one too.
Yeah. Bill says that's why Auburn's tanking early, just rolling up the stakes.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
Well, actually, I was talking about the one about Hugh Freeze on the back nine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Hot streak on the back nine. Are we talking Hugh Freeze?
Speaking of Hugh Freeze, Barry.
Yeah.
There again, message board fodder, people talking, whatever. I got one question. Who you going to hire? I think it's way too early to start, pulling they got to get rid of Freeze. Really? Now, I know I was a big proponent of Hugh Freeze. I'm sticking with him.
Yeah.
I'm not bailing on him yet.
As you should.
He's had some tough losses this year, but it's not like they've gotten blown out. I'm still a little questioning the play calling and the game planning. I think that needs major work. I don't know why it's still happening in year 3, but I haven't given up. Some people seem to already have. If things do continue to go south, they lose to Georgia, drop a game to a Missouri or whomever down the line, and maybe somebody else, who knows. I don't know what the buyout is for Freeze. I think I read somewhere that if he gets into his 4th year, the buyout is almost cut in half or something like that. Does Auburn go that route and try to save money and keep this guy around if they're ready to get rid of him? I'm hearing DJ Durkin's name. Somebody brought this up earlier. I touched on it yesterday as well. Certainly you don't want to talk about somebody's health issues, but could that be something? Hey, I'm going to step down, health reasons, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because I think when the season's over, he's going to be faced with some health procedures that he's going to have to deal with. I certainly hope that's not the case. Certainly wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. But back to my main question: who are you going to hire? And it blows my mind that people just have this knee-jerk reaction. Well, it doesn't matter. Hire this guy. Put the defensive coordinator in because he's been hot the last 3 games. Or, what's that guy out of Arizona? Kenny Dillingham, who used to sit in the press boxes. He wouldn't let him stand on the field over at Auburn or whomever else. I'm thinking, the knee-jerk reaction by some fans out there really amazes me.
I'm hearing everything from, we'll get Kenny Dillingham over here. Number one, I know Auburn is not shy about paying a buyout to somebody. I mean, they'll do that, drop of a hat. But you got to have some money left over for players. If they get rid of Freeze, they're going to be a pretty mass exodus. Or if you're going to keep him, you better pay a whole lot. Rhett Lashley, I don't know what the standard Bama line is about him. The one about Kenny Dillingham not being able to sit in the press box. That's a good one. It's a new one.
No, I think
that's a good one.
Yeah, I think he sat in the press box. It wouldn't let him on the field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Offensive coordinators sitting in the press box. It's an injustice.
I'm not even sure he just sat there, though. I'm not sure he did anything. He wasn't calling the plays.
He wasn't even calling third down plays, was he, John?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
gosh,
that's what they bring that guy in to call the third down plays. No
Brett
kidding.
Lashley, Kenny Dillingham. Somebody just texted me and says, does Bruce Pearl have another son who coaches football?
And let me ask you this. I've heard the John Summerall name. Why would he come to Auburn?
Well, you know,
I mean, I'm sure Kentucky's going to pay him handsomely.
well, yeah, and Kentucky, I would think, would be the inside track. I don't have any advanced knowledge. I've worked with him obviously for years and years, but when he was an assistant at Kentucky, when he was an assistant at Ole Miss, he recruited Alabama like the Becheevers belt. Not that that's the only thing, but I mean, he knows everybody in this state in high school coaching. I mean,
I'll go back to this. Is it winning the state in recruiting or winning the country in recruiting that's most important? We've talked a lot about that. Oh, these kids grew up wanting to play. No, they didn't. They don't care.
Yep. How much are you going to pay me? And when's the first one? Well, stay with us.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to get some insight from Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. He's our first guest on the Tuesday edition of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, back at it about 27 minutes to the top of the hour. Our man Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, checking in as he does each and every Tuesday here on the program. Hey, Brian, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
All right, Brian. I was listening to the game on Saturday, and there were not very many high points. There were a lot of high points, actually, on defense. Not many on offense, and it got to the point where one of my favorite Auburn people, Jason Campbell, you could hear him with Andy Burcham on the radio broadcast when Andy would describe, and I'm listening, Jackson Arnold rolling out, and under his breath, you could hear Jason say, throw it. That was no offensive touchdowns, 8 rushes by running backs, 16-10 loss. What are your primary takeaways?
Well, I have a feeling we could probably hear you Freeze saying something similar under his breath too, and probably every Auburn fan watching in the stadium or on TV.
Throw it!
Yeah,
Will you?
I just this offense looks absolutely horrible. It's a poop show Can I say that?
Yeah,
Yes, you
certainly.
can. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact,
I
that's
mean,
Yeah.
it's as bad as I've seen in my 25 years covering this team. It really is. I don't have an explanation for it. I mean, this is Hugh Freeze's offense. This is his handpicked quarterback. This is an experienced offensive line with handpicked offensive tackles. This is one of the most expensive, one of the best, I think, talented receiving corps in the country. And the identity of the offense is 5-yard hitches where your receiver gets crushed by 3 defenders, or your quarterback drops back and tucks, the ball up and gets sacked. I mean, if Auburn has a statistic or identity, I guess it's sacks allowed. They're 21 worst in the country. So I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I just am amazed, Brian, the lack of rushing attempts, particularly after Coach Freeze talked about it in the press conference before the game. With Texas A&M. I just don't find any. I just am baffled by that.
I am too, and I think there were some called rushes that turned into other plays because of the RPO, which in some ways is supposed to take advantage of what the defense is doing. But another way to look at it is the defense is able to dictate what the offense does, and they know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I think that's happened a lot with Auburn. It certainly looks like the defense is on the front foot when they play Auburn, especially, the good defenses, the talented ones that Auburn saw on the road. And then Auburn also looks completely unprepared to face a hostile crowd, to handle the noise. 18 total offensive penalties in 2 games on the road. That's not, that's not the way things go. I know you have some penalties, but I want to use Alabama as an example. They looked a little bit like a poop show right in week 1. Not nearly as bad as Auburn. But then
you could actually use a stronger word than poop, but go ahead. I know what you mean.
But then we get to week 5, and I think they had 2 offensive penalties at Georgia, which we know is a tremendously tough place to play. Right, Auburn plays there every other year, and then look much improved offensively, whereas Auburn appears to be sliding backwards.
Bad day for the offensive tackles.
Yeah.
Are they not very good? Are they being asked to do too much? Is there? Yeah. These guys have experience. These guys have played football before, but if they're not getting blown by, they're holding somebody and negating a first down run.
They're not playing well. But this offense is putting them in terrible situations. There are so many 3rd and 12s, etc., where the defense can just, pin, quote unquote, pin the ears back and get after you, and that makes a real tough job for an offensive tackle. However, some of those 3rd and longs are because they're committing penalties on 1st and 2nd down. So it's partly their fault for sure. But I just think the whole offensive system for Auburn is a mess. It feels like Hugh Freeze's offensive philosophy is a dinosaur. It's been passed by, and that makes me wonder if there is going to be an easy fix or if this could be it.
Well, that leads me into my next question. Auburn's on in an off week.
Yep.
What's going to change between now and the time Georgia arrives a week from this Saturday?
After the game, we heard from Freeze unacceptable. We have to evaluate personnel, scheme, everything. And then by last night on Tiger Talk, his offensive coordinators talking about, tweaking some things here and there, finding what we do the best and doing more of that. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to change, to be honest with you. I don't know what can change it. When you're this bad offensively, I just, what are you going to do? Just revert to run play action, but you can't run play action with this quarterback because he holds the ball too long, doesn't process things quick enough. Do you switch out quarterbacks mid-season? Maybe. That's what I do. I probably switch out quarterbacks and switch out a couple offensive tackles, but I believe in holding kids responsible when they don't perform well. I'm not sure the staff does at the moment. But I don't know that there's an easy answer. I do think they've got to run the ball more, right? Especially on first and second down. But then if everybody knows you're doing that could be a recipe for not having a lot of success too, especially when, that's not what you built your team around, right? You didn't build your team around running the ball, running powers and such, and throwing the ball on 3rd and 4 or whatever. That's not how you built. That's not how you practice this team. So I don't think there's an easy solution.
If there's a bigger tragedy than all of that you're talking about, it's the fact that, in my mind, tell me what you think, they're wasting a pretty doggone good defense.
Yeah, that defense is playing really well. I don't think Texas A&M. Well, I don't know this, but it's gonna be hard for any team to hold Texas A&M 16 points.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M moved the ball, but that defense really stepped up on 3rd down. I think they were 3 of 14, something like that. Missed a couple field goals. Auburn stiffened up in the red zone, I thought. I mean, it was just a great, gritty performance by the defense. They hung in there.
They were
3 times there in the 4th quarter. I think it was around 6 or 7 minutes, just under 3 minutes and just under 2 minutes. They gave the offense the ball with a chance to win the game. The offense ran 10 plays and got -1 yards.
It's got to be frustrating though, Brian. I saw a stat yesterday. I can't recall it exactly, the numbers, but just how many 1-score games Auburn has lost under Hugh Freeze.
I have to go back and look at that, but it's a lot.
I don't know if getting beat by 3 touchdowns is better than getting beat by 1. I mean, but man, it's got to be frustrating when you're that close. Yeah. And certainly thinking back on some of those games, they were in positions to win. That to me is just, man, what's the difficulty of getting over that hump when you're that close and you're losing games by less than 7 points?
You're that close, and you've got every piece on offense you're supposed to have, and you still can't do it. It is extremely frustrating. I think Auburn fans are. I just think they're ready to lose it. I think they've just there was already a short straw here, right? And to see this happen, to go through 4 losing seasons, to feel like, okay, we finally got here. Hugh Freeze has done what he promised to do. He promised to recruit, to rebuild this roster, and now we're going to see the fruits of that. We're going to see this high-powered offense we've been promised, and to lay that rotten egg, 2 weeks in a row, but really, really at Texas A&M, that's just disheartening. And I think, if things get off to a rough start, you're going to hear it at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I'm afraid to say. I think Auburn fans are absolutely fed up. They're at the end of their straws. I just this to me, the circling of the wagons this week, you kind of feel like I feel like I've been through this, too many times during my career covering Auburn.
I have been the veteran of many, 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 many hundreds and hundreds of coaches shows. Last night, you mentioned Tiger Talk. Last night would have been a good night for a Tiger Talk, not to be in studio, to be out there amongst the fans.
Yeah.
And number 2, to have Hugh Freeze on Tiger Talk instead of DJ Durkin and Derek Nix.
Yep. Yeah, it is definitely circling the wagons. I don't think it's a good look when a athletic department, likes to do this, right? It just tells everybody out there that they're defensive, they're scared, they're concerned. They can use the excuse that, he needs this extra time to work and fix the offense. But come on, I don't think people are going to buy that, right? It's just 20 or 30 minutes out of the day. Like I said, I think we'll see how it goes at Georgia in 10 more days or so, or against Georgia. But man, I think this fan base is fed up. It's not going to be the atmosphere we thought it was. I've already heard about a lot of tickets coming up, popping up, available, that kind of stuff, which is never a good sign.
Georgia's going to be a favorite in that game.
Oh yeah.
And I think most people, even back in the summer, thought, man, that's going to be a tough one. That's a tough 3-game stretch. I know we talked a lot about it.
Yeah.
But even if they lose to Georgia, and it's another close one, to me, Brian, it's the next week. If they lose against Missouri,
Yeah.
then whoa, that's deep. What'd you call it? Poop? Whatever.
Yeah, poop
Yeah.
emoji.
Yeah, he is in deep there because
Yeah.
to me, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky are all winnable. Vanderbilt, they have to go to Nashville, but who knows? But I think that if they lose to Missouri, whew,
It's
I'm
tough.
with you. That's going to be
Yeah.
tough.
And if they lose to Georgia, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Alabama, now you're looking at another possible losing season, 5 in a row. I actually think if the offense looks bad against Georgia, that could be the end. I really do. I think we have gone from a lukewarm seat to fire red seat just in a matter of one game. I really do. That's my read on Auburn right now, as somebody who's covered the school for a long time. I just think people are really, really upset with this. This is so below the expectations they had, so below what they are promised. I would not be surprised if it reaches an untenable moment after October 11th if it doesn't go well, especially offensively.
And clip, I'd save that for social media later on. The only thing that could have used was another reference to poop in there because that has been kind of the theme to the visit so far. Couple of things, couple of questions. The only two words I thought during the radio, and again, I didn't watch it, but I listened to it, and I love Auburn's radio broadcast and radio broadcast. The only two words I heard more than Jason Campbell under his breath saying "throw it" was Andy saying the two words Xavier Atkins.
Yes.
Who is that guy? Why was he balling out to the extent that he was? And can you expect more of that from this guy?
Well, first of all, he's a DJ Durkin guy. Durkin went after him coming out of high school. He chose LSU, his home state school. Didn't work out for LSU after 1 year, came to Auburn. He has been spectacularly good, right? He's one of those linebackers who's a little bit undersized, but very fast and quick, and will really, really deliver a punch, when he meets a ball carrier or whatever. He has just been playing lights out for Auburn. His 73-yard interception return was more yards than Auburn's offense had in the entire second half. So, I mean, it was an explosive play. It put Auburn in position to have an incredible comeback win there, and the offense could do nothing with it except for the 2-yard touchdown on the next play, or 3-yard touchdown, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been he's been good all 4 games or all 5 games. I mean, he's been really, really good. 4, yeah. So I think you're going to see more of that. And the other thing I should have mentioned is this: if you are living in the Northeast or the West and you see the score and you see that Auburn has just lost 2 road games against top 10ish teams by 1 score, you're thinking, okay, that's acceptable. Auburn's playing good. They got a chance. But if you watch that game offensively, that's not the way you're thinking, right?
In those two games combined, SEC games, Tom Luganville mentioned this to us yesterday. Auburn is 3 of 28 in third down conversions.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily that they're not winning third downs. It's that, like you said, Brian, they're putting themselves into position by not winning first and second downs and giving themselves a hill to climb up in a possession play.
Yeah, I think my colleague, Justin Hokanson, I don't know the stat exactly, but I think it was something like 1 of 17 in 3rd and 9s or 3rd and longs during that 2-game stretch. And that just tells you how many 3rd and longs Auburn has faced during that stretch, right? So it is a function of everything going wrong with the offense on 1st and 2nd down. You saw the kind of, I would call it capitulation there early against Texas A&M. Auburn would get into a 3rd and long, and they just hand the ball off knowing they're not going to get a first down, right? What does that tell you about the state of the offense, the belief in Jackson Arnold, the belief in the passing game? It ain't there. That's why I don't understand why there's not a change there, right? To me, if a quarterback can't process quick enough, can't get the ball out quick enough, that's not a, hey, we'll work on that this week in practice and get it fixed. That's a, we're not going to fix this. We need to find another solution problem, in my opinion. So I don't understand why they're still, again, it's not all his fault, right? Maybe you can design another offense where it fits him a little bit better, right? where he's running the ball more and the running backs run the ball more, and he's, doing some things where he only has one or two, decisions to make. But that's not what they're running right now, and what they're running does not fit what he is doing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting off week, to say the least, Brian, to see what changes, what adjustments, what different we'll see when they face Georgia. Understand it will be a night game at Jordan-Hare
Yes.
a week from Saturday, which is always nice. The fans like the night atmosphere. But
Yes.
you don't want to see the fans heading for the exits midway through the third quarter.
No, you don't want to hear fans booing your team, and that's bad look. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not saying that's happened, but I just think it's there if Auburn lays an egg. People have so much reached their limit on this. So that's just the way it is in college football, right? This is the South. There are high expectations. When you come up this short of those expectations, you're going to be held responsible.
Well, one of the things you told us about, and it's been a little while now, is auburnsports.com now has the kind of conglomeration of all the resources of Rivals, which you've always had, but now On3 as well. And you said, watch out because things are really going to start cooking. Well, they have on the website lots of different stuff. A lot of the stuff that Brian is talking about is already on the website. Great staff, great resources as well. In this turbulent time, a subscription to auburnsports.com will keep you on the crest of everything happening at Auburn. How do people get it, Brian?
Yeah, just go to the website, sign up. I'm not sure what the special deal is we're running now, but sometimes it's only like $1 the first year or something crazy like that.
This one $1 for the first week. I'm just looking right now.
There you go. So we're always running some great deal.
Yeah.
Check it out. Of course, there's been so many things happening at Auburn, right? Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that he's the best ever coach in any sport. Him or Pat Dye, really, in Auburn history. The changes both oversaw. Him retired and his son taking over. I don't think we've talked about that probably enough. And then everything else going on with the football program. This could be a really, really big time for change. This next, what we've already had and what could be upcoming. Could be a really important time. We've got guys that know how to cover these types of things, and we will have blowout coverage of everything that takes place on and off the football field in the coming weeks.
Somebody's already texted me this. I mentioned it on the show before you got here. Does Bruce Pearl have a son that coaches football? That's not necessarily
that's
a legitimate
good.
question.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, man, good stuff as always. We appreciate your time. And once again, wanted to make sure everybody checks you out on all the platforms there. When it comes to Auburn Athletics, you guys are on top of it, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. BMAT.AU on Twitter/X. Check us out.
Check him out. Brian, thanks a bunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. Great insight and analysis. Always appreciate that. And I got to tell you, Barry, the message boards, woo, they've been pretty good this week. I will admit.
And, that's a lot. I mean, they're ground zero, so to speak. They're in amongst players, coaches, tons of fans. So they've got a really good pulse beat of the way things are. And a lot of it is because of those message boards. And boy, John, they ain't happy. One of the names that's being bandied about, you don't want to ask Brian about it yet because, there's still such a fluid situation. John, he says that if they look bad against Georgia, that might be it.
Yeah.
That might be, I'm trying to think of other things that have happened that quickly. Gay marriage, all of a sudden you wake up one day and people are passing things, and I'm not making any political statements, but things can, all of a sudden we're paying players. I mean, it wasn't like, we'll pay them $100 this year, next year $200, next year $400. I mean, all of a sudden, boom, we're paying players. Hugh Freeze, his start in the SEC to the eye, not bad. But I mean, not to the eye necessarily. If you're reading the box score, Auburn only lost to Oklahoma by a touchdown. Only lost to Texas A&M by 6. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's bad. If you look at it, if you watch it, if you consume it at the time, people aren't happy. And if they do, here's a name that that I had never heard of until just now. We're talking about who would it be? You know, the regular name.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Dillingham, Rhett Lashley.
Soup du jour.
Yeah. You know who? Well, you know what they're talking about on the message boards? Ryan Grubb. Just saying. Auburn has had much success with former Alabama assistant coaches before.
Yeah.
Just saying. Good stuff on the message boards
Yeah.
at auburnsports.com. Good stuff on our chat line. Curtis says, I went to blow my nose before the Brian interview. I get back and it's already over.
Wait a minute. He was on for like 22 minutes. Timed it.
Send us
Come
a
on,
picture.
Curtis.
Take a selfie and send us a picture of your nose.
Yeah,
I
really.
mean, good gosh, that thing must be huge.
Bo, I did see that yesterday about Donald Trump Jr., and he's dead on. He's exactly correct. He says, John, did you see Donald Trump Jr. said he totally agrees with changing the ban on sports gambling in Alabama and Georgia? Sure. I've been preaching that for, how old am I? Sure. Don Jr. gets it. He's thinking biggest game in college football, and the people that live in that state can't bet on it. It's ridiculous.
Is Donald Trump Jr., is he a holder of elective office?
No, but he gets interviewed a lot.
Is he a resident of Alabama or Georgia?
He's just making a general comment. Only 11 states don't have it in Alabama and Georgia.
That's just fluff right there.
One of them.
He doesn't live here. He doesn't have any
what's that
cachet to affect it. Oh, you know what we've been talking about is, hey, get it in front of the voters. Well, in Alabama, he ain't a voter. He ain't a senator. He ain't a county commissioner.
But he's still getting it out there for people to discuss and to think about and to weigh the pros and cons. And he's a very people recognize the name, and he is certainly recognizable, and he does a lot of speaking on behalf of the Republican Party.
In that context, you can substitute the name John Longshore for Donald Trump Jr. Recognizable name, getting it out for people to discuss, if Bo, and I'm sure Bo has done this. I love Bo Evans. That guy's great. He says, if he'd have said John, or if he'd have said Fred or Bill, did you see John Longshore? He says he totally agrees with changing the ban on sports gambling in Alabama and Georgia. That would have gotten some things. That would have gotten the ball rolling.
Yes, that is certainly coming. We certainly like Don Jr. in our corner. I'll tell you, we'll take him rather than kick him out to the curb. So you keep promoting that.
There we go.
We're all for it. Dennis, I drink donut shop coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I think we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
Have it delivered to the house. It's outstanding. The NFL's not expanding anytime soon. Where would they go?
And John has no idea who Bob Chesney is. So he's not Kenny's brother. Yeah. John, what coffee are you drinking? Is it decaffeinated berry, in your opinion, where Bob Chesney?
Who's Bob Chesney?
It's not Kenny's brother. He is the head football coach at James Madison University. He's in his second year. JMU's pretty good, but JMU's always pretty good. I don't know that he deserves anything. Dennis says, we are a family among those testers. I think he means listeners. We are family among those listeners on Longshore McKnight. Please get some phone lines. Thank you, Dennis. Dennis, I'm loving the way things are, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really am. I know why you're asking, because you want to contribute even more than the vast amount you already contribute. But things are going.
I hear what you're saying. Who's that? Yeah. Dennis, I hear what you're saying. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Just read between the lines, if you will.
Yeah. And Ty, you know this. He says, I like Grubb. Could have hired Kirby, too. No, that was never going to work. Could
You know
they have
why?
hired Kirby?
If they would have given him what he asked for,
which was basically
minute.
the codes to the nuclear weapons or what. Hey, I may take the job, but you got to show me everything that you're facing right now.
Wait a minute, you want me to
being the
leave
sitting
here
defensive coordinator for your in-state rival
and come over here, but I'm not real sure what I'm getting into. I'm supposed to, believe us. You're good. Well, really? I mean, I'm making a big move here. I need to make sure I got all my bases covered.
Both of them
interviewed him.
Both of them probably did the right thing for themselves.
But
when we come back,
Barry, that you say that, and there again, you hear all this talk. But one thing that is of all the clutter out there that hit home was, well, if Auburn makes a move, they got to swing for the fences. And there again, when they hired Hugh Freeze, and I said it, I was a Freeze proponent. Yeah. And you know why I was? Who was a better candidate out there? Were they going to hire Lane Kiffin? Really?
Neil McCready said he would be horrible at Auburn. Yeah.
No, they weren't going to hire Deion Sanders. So who was the best candidate out there? It was Hugh Freeze. So everybody's getting antsy over there. You're not going after Kenny Dillingham, or you're not going after Rhett Lashley, or you're not going to promote DJ Durkin. You got to get somebody that's going to move the needle, that's going to lead off Sports Center. Wow. They brought Nick Saban out of retirement. Not saying that's going to happen, but somebody that is going to rock the football world. Now, that's easier said than done. Who can you go out there and get? I'm open for suggestions, because some of these soup du jour candidates that are hot right now, we've heard it for years. Oh, got to get this guy. He's great. I think back to Gary Barnett, who was at Northwestern. Everybody thought he was great. Where's he today?
I think he's doing games on Westwood One Radio or something like that. Working with John for these many years has been such a blessing. For those of you who are newbies still trying to get the measure of this guy, coaching search John may be my favorite John right there. We got to take a break. When we come back, Travis Reier is due from Reier on YouTube. It's Longshore and McKnight, starting our second live hour in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, about 4 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday, Longshore McKnight. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Of course, in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. You can watch us there. There's a write-up about the show each and every day. Bear, I noticed yesterday they have timestamps of all the, I guess, high points of the show. So you can timestamp it and go to where I guess the juicy parts are. So really appreciate that with our friends at Yellowhammer News. Also, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Spotify, Apple iTunes. You can catch us all there. We really appreciate it, and really appreciate everybody spreading the word. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. All right.
How do you sift through that? How do you sift through the entire show and just get the high points when it'd be easier to just give them maybe 1 or 2 points in the show that are, you can probably skip this.
I mean, it's detailed. I mean, basically, it's the whole show.
No kidding. The whole thing is a 2-hour high point.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour high point, and they give you where they all are. It's pretty ingenious.
Yeah.
Hey, our man Travis Ryer on YouTube Talking Tide, joining us here on this Tuesday. Good morning, Travis. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, you with us? Got us, Travis?
Yes.
Hey.
How we doing?
Good.
Well, we're doing good. We were talking Auburn just a little while ago and trying to decompress out of that. But I guess when we talk about Alabama's win over Georgia, I'm surprised at the number of questions I'm hearing from Georgia fans. Why doesn't Kirby take his time and run a play on 4th down instead of scrambling out there and all that kind of stuff? But most of the observations that we get from the Alabama game have to do with Ty Simpson. Holy smokes, Travis, he looked good, did he not?
He looked great. And I think probably Ryan Grubb probably isn't getting enough love for what we saw. And not just that night, but obviously the preparation and the development of Ty Simpson since we last saw him in a similar situation at Florida State. And really that team in general. But I thought it was a masterclass in a lot of ways in terms of preparation and plan from Ryan Grubb, but absolutely in terms of execution and having the demeanor and the confidence and the skill set to pull off what Ty Simpson did, especially on 3rd down, was pretty astounding.
It really was. Kirby commented on it. You got to tip your cap to the compliments that Kirby Smart gave to Ty Simpson and how he operated that offense. And certainly the national media has picked up on it as well, talking about Heisman and all that type of stuff. A little early for that in my mind, but a great performance in a hostile environment. It goes without saying. But you know me, Travis, I always look at the other side of the coin too. And I'd love to get your thoughts about it. No points scored in the second half, gave up 227 yards of rushing, and Alabama's running game still not very effective. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but those are the 3 areas that kind of concerned me when I woke up on Sunday morning and thought about it again.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that opening possession for the 3rd quarter was a little bit of a tone setter for the offense because they had success going down the field. And, Connor Talty's 43-yarder ended up in Marietta, I think. I mean, there's left, and then there's that.
Yeah. I've seen tee shots not go that far left.
I mean, that went further left than Maxine Waters. You kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, I said after the game, that was OB on 1 at the old course at St. Andrews, and there is no OB.
He found it.
Yeah, that's left of left.
That was in the hotel over there.
Wow. Okay, but
yeah, that I think that in some ways, kind of set a negative tone, and then they held the football for a while again, so they ate up some of the 3rd quarter with that possession. Which was a positive. But, yeah, if they just convert the field goal there to go back up or go up 13, maybe a different ride for them there. I thought they got away from play action a little bit in the 3rd quarter too. And then they came back around to it late 3rd and then into the 4th quarter. And then they had some some more success. They had the fourth down debacle where they end up with a busted play on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Situationally, they were so good throughout the night, but they had a couple of instances there in the third quarter where they weren't. And, I think that probably had something to do with the offense. The run game for Georgia, you were worried about that all throughout the week. And against the two really legitimate offenses they've gone against now, they're giving up 230 per game on the ground, basically, because Florida State went for 230. Georgia basically went for 230. I guess a little bit better. Yeah, better in the second half in that at least they didn't give up 9 yards per carry or 8, whatever it was. And they produced a huge takeaway, which when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, just getting 3 off of that takeaway deep in Georgia's end looked very big in a 3-point game. And, I agree with the Georgia fans who felt like the biggest mistake for Georgia going there wasn't that it went, is that it went fast.
Right.
You
Yeah.
dominated the line of scrimmage or in the run game. You've been pretty dominant throughout the game. Get your best people on the field. Get your best play for that situation. Don't be cute and get the yard, and then I get it. But going fast, man, I know all these guys are 100 times smarter than I am. I know Sark does it. Lane does it. Bobo obviously does it. But it just seems like when I've seen Alabama do it in a lot of situations, it hasn't always ended well. So I think Alabama was fortunate in some ways, but then give them credit. Overton did just enough. And again, for me with Georgia, it goes back to personnel. That's not where you want Cash Jones carrying the football.
No.
On 4th and 1.
Yeah.
When Chauncey Bowens is averaging 9 a clip and he's 220 pounds.
And you're swinging Cash Jones wide right.
Just get under center and sneak the ball.
Go. Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's a couple different ways to look at that. End of the day, in the biggest moments of the game, it was Alabama in both phases that got it done.
Well, I'll admit this, and I watched a good bit of Ty Simpson in the opener in Tallahassee, was not tremendously blown away or anything. Didn't watch a bit of the ULM game, watched a few clips of Wisconsin, not extensive. And when I watched him, and I watched the whole Georgia game, it seemed as though, there were a couple of times where, Ty Simpson was him. The pass he threw to Isaiah Horton between two defenders, finding a tight little window and getting it in there, you get the sense, Ty Simpson, he can run the offense. He doesn't make bad plays. He gets it where it needs to get to. But, man, he can make every throw. I was impressed. That was a high point to me. That was a scales falling from my eyes kind of moment about Ty Simpson, Travis.
I think it was for a lot of people because as we talked about on a weekly basis, after that performance against Florida State, for a lot of folks around the country, it was going to be, well, we'll check back in with Georgia. Why would you really put a lot into what you saw from Ty Simpson against ULM and Wisconsin? But the reality is he obviously took some big steps from Florida State, and having those two games were very beneficial to him because he was outstanding in those games. And it just felt like maybe the game slowed down for him a little bit. Maybe the link between he and Grubb, because it was Nick Sheridan last year. There's a better understanding of in-game what each can expect from the other because they didn't have that before Florida State. Now they do. And it just felt like Alabama already had a lot of answers to the test. And so when that's the case, and Ty Simpson was a 5-star prospect for a reason. He doesn't have a pop gun. The guy can make the throws.
Yeah.
Now he seems to have the confidence in himself and the people around him to just let it go. And we heard that from Grubb after Florida State. If you really listen to Grubb post Florida State, he didn't really throw Ty under the bus, but it was, man, you got to let it rip. You got to let the ball go in some of these situations. They obviously felt like they left a lot out there. And it wasn't all because Ty was getting a lot of heat or those type of things. It was more Ty just hadn't gained that confidence yet in himself. Well, it looks like he has.
Speaking of Ryan Grubb, I thought his play calling Saturday night was phenomenal.
Oh yeah. I love the play action stuff on early downs, man. They've been devastatingly effective with that the last 3 games. And they came out with it. You know, they go 7-man protection on the deep ball to Ryan Williams. They got everything they want against cover 2 there. Ryan just runs right between the safeties and perfect ball from Ty, and it goes to the ground. So, but you know, that's the first challenge that they really passed in the game, because you got the sense that, well, here comes a punt at some point, but it didn't. You know, they still sustained an incredible drive to go down and get in the end zone. And really, Georgia was in a very similar situation. Had the big drop by the true freshman, but then wasn't able to stay on the field and get points.
Right.
So certain situations and sequences in games like that you can point to, and I think that's another one of those where, you know, Georgia just after the big drop in plus territory wasn't able to go on and get points.
I thought, speaking of him, I thought he thoroughly outcoached Glenn Schumann, Kirby Smart, and everything. Grubb did thoroughly outcoached him. I thought at the very end, when you needed that first down to kneel at the clock, and he had that little misdirection dump to Jam Miller, and Jam sits down before going. I mean, I'm giving the little stadium clap to that. I mean, that's Simpson said after the game something along the lines, when we knew they started flowing that way, he said, I knew we had him at that point. That's genius, Travis.
Grubb, one of the great things he did in the game was he consistently kept those Georgia inside linebackers in conflict.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way. Linebackers can put, you know, you in conflict if you don't have some stuff that you can incorporate. But on a number of occasions, Alabama outflanked Georgia defensively. And a lot of that was concept and design by Grubb. That was almost like a 2-man bootleg. You know, usually you'll see a bootleg action where, you know, you fake to the back one way and the back just keeps going that way, right? And then you boot out the back and the tight end or a shallow cross comes with you. Jam actually was the bootleg back who pivoted back out into the flat. And they had Josh Cuevas all alone down the field on that play. I mean, if Ty wanted to play hero ball, he probably had a touchdown to Cuevas. He was so wide open because of the flow. Like you said, Barry, they had everybody flowing to the back. And so anytime in the game, it felt like if they gave any type of fake to a back or a jet sweep, they could get those guys running to the ball and then go back the other way and really hurt Georgia.
Travis Ryer on YouTube talking Tide with us here this morning. What about injuries, particularly on defense? Quay Russaw, foot injury, looks like he's going to be out a while. How's that going to affect this defense and other injuries that have popped up?
Yeah, I think what you worry about is maybe run defense first, because I think Yanzi Pierre, as long as he's healthy, can give them some edge pass rush. I thought he did a good job affecting Stockton on multiple occasions the other night, even when he didn't get hands to him or you know, it necessarily show up in the stat column. Quay is obviously a good pass rusher as well, so that's a double whammy. And he's also a stout type of guy that in run defense you could miss. And then you combine that with Jamarian Latham. I mean, he's basically playing that position because he does give you that size on early downs. So you're down a couple of guys coming up against a Vanderbilt offense that, you know, can legitimately run the football. And so, yeah, Justin Hill, a true freshman, saw a lot of action the other night to go along with Pierre. I guess, you know, they could get into some other guys depth-wise that they have at the spot. They could also look at some bandit defensive end types, you know, guys like Keon Keeley. He's played out there in the past, maybe a different approach. Just from a depth perspective, I think Hill will still be up there with Pierre. But if you lose another one of these guys, It might be that you have to go more to that banded end position because sometimes those guys stand up too. And so maybe the responsibilities and the techniques aren't all that different.
Travis, tell the rank and file Bama fans what they should be concerned with about Vanderbilt.
Diego, first and foremost, because I thought you saw Gunnar Stockton turn down some situations the other night, or maybe he wasn't as confident enough in himself to make some of the throws that you got to make. Similar to Ty in the opener against Florida State, but probably even to a greater extent. I know Bobo's going to get all the smoke from the Georgia fans because that's the auto default for Georgia fans right now. But I mean, there were multiple situations where Stockton just, for whatever reason, couldn't cut it loose. And I thought quarterback play, quarterback production, man, when you go back and look at that game, that's probably where the widest disparity was.
Confidence doesn't seem to be a real issue with Diego Pavia.
That's the point, is that Diego will be there for all of it. And, so Stockton, whether running or throwing last Saturday night, didn't always look like he was willing to do it. Diego's going to be ready to do anything and everything. He absolutely relishes this type of situation. He's already 4-0, against Alabama, state of Alabama teams?
Yeah.
He'd love to make it 5 in Alabama's backyard.
And what blows my, you're looking at, what Vandy's done. They've beaten everybody they played by 20. They're scoring like in the high 40s.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not just Diego. They're well coached. I've said it before, that migration from New Mexico State, led by Diego, but certainly not exclusive to Diego, whether the coaching staff and or personnel, has totally changed the arc of Vanderbilt football. And Clark Lee. Clark's, I'm sure, a good head coach. But you think about him without the guys that came over from Las Cruces. So, you make too many times. I know it's tired, but we like to make the boxing and football analogies to having to knock a guy out. Diego even looks like Roberto Duran. Look at the guy.
Yep, no doubt.
He looks like a damn welterweight or a light heavy. I mean, you watch his press conference yesterday. I thought I was, looking at Roberto Duran before the Sugar Ray Super Fight 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he's in Vegas.
We need some no moss Saturday afternoon. That's what Bama fans are hoping.
I mean, you look at that dude and you've got to knock him out. And so, but he isn't the kind of guy to give the no moss, if you know what I mean. We haven't seen it from him yet. So you better be ready for the full 60 with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One question from the chat line to the side of our video to ask you about this. Very proud of the Jaguars win at San Francisco last weekend, but there was a little face-to-face between Jacksonville coach Liam Cohen and Robert Saleh. Are you telling me that there's allegations of sign stealing in the NFL, Travis? As if.
Yeah. Liam floated that one out there last week before that game like flatulence in church. That thing stunk.
Yeah.
For the rest of the week. And I don't think Robert was feeling it. Bob wasn't feeling it so good after getting beat on his home field. Look, the Jags went out there and did what they needed to do. As a beat up 49ers team, Brock Purdy coming back after missing a couple of starts.
Kittle's
I thought
out.
you saw some rust from that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very efficient team, but boy, I'll tell you, man, the Jaguars defense, they create issues. Anthony Campanelli is one of these young guys that you're going to probably see in a head coaching job, maybe before he's ready. But, with the way he's got them taking the ball away right now, which is super because it makes life easier on that offense and Trevor Lawrence. And then they get a special teams touchdown. I mean, 26-21 game, and you have a punt return for 87 yards. Do the math on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You typically don't win games in which you give up those non-offensives. And so Jags 3-1, Chiefs coming to Duval
Whoa.
on Monday night. How about that?
A little
Yeah.
Monday nighter. Man,
Monday
I love
nighter.
that.
Yeah,
That is
I
awesome.
don't expect Taylor to make that one.
I was going to ask you about that because my mother, she loves the Jags, but she loves Taylor Swift. Boy,
she might need a map to find
Yeah.
Jacksonville. But
I mean, do they have the suite accommodations there for her to sit in? Could that be an issue?
They do have suites. They do have suites.
All
yes.
right.
So it is possible. But I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's not like she's Leonard Skinnerd here.
Woo!
Or even 38.
38 special.
Yeah, 38. Yeah, hold on loosely. Hey, Tobias, who is out in Arizona, he's a big viewer of the program, wanted us to ask you a question.
With the portal affecting depth, are the days of winning a title with the game manager at quarterback over? You can't stack rosters like peak Saban. That's his question.
Yeah, it's a good question. But, I mean, go back to last year's championship game. Where are those two quarterbacks right now? Right, where's Riley Leonard and Will Howard? They're not starting on Sundays.
No.
You know?
Yep.
And Howard had a heck of a run through that playoff, but he was pretty ordinary before the playoff. I do think you have to, if you get to the playoff, that's when the quarterback play has to kick in. And Riley Leonard, to me, wasn't elite, but he would make the plays at the times when you had to make them, especially with the way Notre Dame played. So I tend to agree in terms of needing that guy at that position. But, you know, you look at Saban's national title teams, I guess there was kind of a mix, right? I mean, you had the Jake Cokers, you had the Greg McElroys that weren't going to blow you away. But you also had the Tua Tagovailoas, Jalen, those two guys are starting. Mac Jones has started games in the NFL. So it is tougher to stack rosters. There's no doubt about it. I do think, you don't have to have a first round pick at the position, but yeah, once you get into that tournament, your guy better play at a high level. And look, I didn't think Greg played particularly well against Texas in the Rose Bowl, but Jake Coker, once he started playing at a high level, he played a heck of a game against Clemson and Glendale. People forget about that.
Yep.
And so Jake Coker to me is like Will Howard, or Will Howard was like Jake Coker. When Ohio State needed Will Howard to play at a high level, he did.
Well, at least McElroy didn't have as bad of a game as Jay Barker did against Miami in the 92 Sugar Bowl.
It was pretty close, but yeah. I think what was Jay was 2 of 14 or something like that. But that's how good that defense was.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Travis Ryer on YouTube, talking Tide, second helping, focusing on the SEC. No sleep, Teal. What's next on the docket for you on the channel?
Yeah, today I believe we're going to have No Sleep Teal later this afternoon. We'll talk some NFL. We'll talk some Jags. And then tonight, I'm anticipating second helping SEC talk with Brent Beard. And then tomorrow evening, we'll have Talking Tide, Chase Goodbread of the Tuscaloosa News and myself previewing Alabama Vanderbilt. So that looks like the next 36 hours or so.
So like next Tuesday, is there going to be a lack of sleep for that late victory from the Jags on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, you could be getting that guy. You could be getting that guy next Tuesday.
Appreciate you, Travis. Take care, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Love it. Man, Jags 3-1, got Monday Night Football with Kansas City coming to town. Wow.
It's going to be a big day in Jacksonville. Nice reference by him about, Taylor Swift in Jacksonville is no Leonard Skinner to 38 special.
Well, true.
No question.
Kidding.
By the way, you follow him on X.
Yep.
At Travis Ryer. He points this out, and I missed this. Alabama goes to Missouri. ABC telecast.
11 o'clock.
11 in the morning.
Yeah, here's the way I see it. Because I noticed that yesterday.
I had not.
And I was a little bummed about that because I'm going to be busy doing something else, hopefully in the final match of a golf tournament to win it all. It's kind of what I'm hoping on Saturday, the 11th. Is that the 11th? I think it is, or the 10th.
It is.
What day is that? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's going to – we have a little problem with that. But if you're a Bama fan, you're thinking, Wisconsin was at 11, Missouri's going to be at 11, Vanderbilt at 2:30. When are these night games coming? Just tap the brakes, hold on. The month of November, I could see LSU, Oklahoma being at night, maybe even Tennessee in the third Saturday of October. So they're coming. Just hold on. Don't panic.
11 in the morning for a road game is actually.
Don't coaches like that? So the players,
yeah, because you don't hang around the hotel the whole time. And you're exactly right. Just let's go, let's play, let's get it moving here. When we come back, the Phantom?
Yes. Correct.
Daily Dog?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes. Lots to get to still. Later on, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Make sure you get out to Victoryland for your chance to be the big winner. That is this weekend. So make sure you head on out there to win some cash and prizes. Man, Tobias coming strong today from out in the desert. Wanted to give DeBoer some credit for getting the team ready for that trap game in Athens, because the big one is this week against Vandy.
I like it. My man Tobias. Love that stuff. We get a really good one from Bill Valentine. Yeah.
I don't know, Bill.
Awesome, Bill. Awesome.
I don't know. I don't know, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
When will
like it? There you go.
I don't think he's going to get fired. I really don't.
The question is begged. We talked about this yesterday.
He might resign, but he isn't going to get fired.
And that's a big difference. If he resigns, he's the biggest idiot on God's green earth. I mean, we realize that, right?
Yeah.
There ain't no way he's going to resign.
Well, I think, Barry, if that does happen, there will be a mutual understanding. He ain't leaving without getting paid. I'll preface it with that.
Can I make a guess here?
Yeah.
If it happens, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it happens, it'll be presented as health issues. And it might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be. We are certainly, especially John, who knows what Hugh's dealing with. It is certainly a possibility, and I'm not making light of it.
Yeah.
But if it happens, that will be the rationale behind it.
And we don't know the extent of his illness. I mean, we do know he has, made it public that he has prostate cancer.
Yes.
And it's in the early stages, and they're actively monitoring that. That's exactly what happened to me. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. It was a small area that they had detected. We elected not to do anything at that moment. I was, no health concern for not doing that. We went back and reevaluated it. 12 to 18 months later, they noticed that there had been more. That's all I needed to hear. We made the decision. We set the surgery date, had the prostatectomy, and I'm a living, breathing example of, making sure you stay on top of it and
early and
and have the procedure and never had a second thought about it. If that's what he's going through and elects to do that, he'll have some downtime, not a lot. I mean, I didn't have a lot. I was amazed that I was kind of back up on my feet quicker than I thought I would be. The only thing that got me, and I don't want to say this to be cute and funny, but they did tell me, Barry, I couldn't play golf for about 3 to 4 months. And I went, whoa.
I remember that.
So
I remember that. So what John did was he went to Chuck E. Cheese where they have the, what is that called? Top Gear Golf, where, you have it was like First Tee or something like that. The video game.
And you spin the big ball with your two thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't get it done for him, though. The golf thumbs was significant.
I had my surgery. I'll never forget it, Barry. I don't know how these things happen. It was the third Saturday. It was the third Friday in October is when I had it. And I had to spend the night in the hotel, and I was going to come home the next day, which I did. The only problem is the doctor was a little slow on his rounds to dismiss patients. I'm going, Doc, let's go. We're about to kick off here in like 2 hours.
Let's go.
Are you kidding me? So finally we got that done and everything was all good and dandy. But so I was a little freaked out because I had a trip planned that I've done for many, many years with some friends of mine out to California. And I'm thinking, man, Doc, am I going to be ready to go by like February, mid-February? Because I think you'll be able to make it by then, but no golf until then. Whew. And it was the winter, so it was wet and rainy and, not really golf weather. So that didn't bum me out too much, but that was really the only thing. Everything else was great. But back to Freeze, maybe there again, don't know the severity of his particular case, but Barry, his buyout after this year is like $18 million. If they wait till year 4, it's like $7 million. So do you give him another year to save $10 million in this day and age?
They didn't wait on Malzahn, and look it up. Malzahn had a better run than Freeze has had.
Yeah.
At Auburn. People talk about the $27 million for Malzahn. Is $13 million? Is $7 million? Is that a big deal? It's a different day and age than Malzahn's buyout because the money you'd be paying to Freeze is money that could be going to get decent offensive tackles or something like that. But if it does happen, they may negotiate it down, and the language would be, he's going to step away and, concentrate on his health. But if he does, number one, we're not minimizing his health at all. But if that does happen, John, they better have somebody primed and ready in the background, ready to go.
And right here and now, I don't have that person. There again, 4 years ago, when we kind of had it narrowed down to who we thought it would be, I was up front. Hey, it's on record. Hugh Freeze is your man. I'm a little surprised, not a little, I am surprised that he has not had as much success as I thought he would. His number against SEC opponents, 5-13, is mind-boggling. I can't understand that. Year 3, could you say bad luck? They've lost 2 games on the road to top 20 teams by less than a touchdown. Okay. All right. That's true. But you dissect it a little deeper, and the play calling's very mysterious.
Well, again, Tobias, who we love on the chat line, blanket statement here.
Yep.
Hugh Freeze at Auburn is showing the effects of missing on a quarterback in today's college football. They'd be undefeated with confident quarterback play. Not an Auburn fan, but I'm keeping it real. Tobias, come on, man. Today's college, come on.
Keeping it
Are
real.
you telling me that if Auburn found a really, really good quarterback, it could mask a lot of shortcomings? Like that's ever happened? Come on.
Let me
Please,
ask you this,
we're not talking fantasy. Are you telling me that Auburn could have an average team, but if they got the right quarterback, say 6'5", 240 out of Blinn Junior College and all that would? And we're not talking fantasy here. We're talking real life.
What they're paying Jackson Arnold compared to what they paid. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Well, let's look at this, Barry. Jackson Arnold lost his job at Oklahoma. Why? He has not performed exceptionally well since he's been at Auburn.
I will submit to you that a lot of that is not his fault.
Okay, that's what I was getting with that too. If Ty Simpson was at Auburn, would they be any better? Is it play calling? Is it offensive line play? I'm just throwing it out there because people love to use that compare. And I'm just trying to think of another quarterback. I mean, the guys at Oregon.
Well, it's all
at Auburn.
They're all different systems. They all have different levels of personnel around them. I'm just saying that they ain't helping Jackson Arnold a lot. The offensive tackles have been bad. The running game, he is it. I mean, they don't let anybody else run other than him. A lot of those are not planned runs. And believe me, I'm not saying Jackson Arnold is totally pristine without blame. Throw the football. Throw it. It's like that guy on the green. He's plumb bobbing. He's getting up there. He's waggling. Couple of practice putts, he's swiping it. John's like, just hit it. Jackson Arnold stands in the pocket. He ain't got a lot of time anyway. He's looking around. That's when you have Jason Campbell in the background on the Auburn broadcast say, throw it. And he just won't do it. So a lot of it is his fault, but man, he ain't got any help.
Does Stan do any interviews? Can we get Stan on the show? I mean,
I thought Jason was really good. I think Jason's really good, but I was thinking about this while I was listening. Yeah. I'm thinking, Stan wouldn't be nearly as calm, cool, and directed and collected. Well,
I wasn't very calm, cool, and collected, Barry, when I saw the Miami Dolphins show up in black uniforms last night.
Didn't love it. Black helmets.
Yeah. So, we do a lot of research here and coming up with the Daily Dog. Uniform combinations is one that we normally don't look into. I wasn't expecting the Dolphins to go crazy with the unis last night, but obviously that had an effect on the game. I mean, the end zones were painted black. It reminded me, Barry, there was a football movie with Al Pacino was the coach, and who was the quarterback?
Any Given Sunday, was it Jamie Foxx?
Yeah. And that team that he coached had black uniforms like that. And I thought, wait a minute, what is this?
Those are not good.
The Miami Sharks was the name of the team, I believe, in the movie. And they had black uniform. I thought, what is this? The movie team or something? So anyway, we knew we were in trouble with the black unis last night. And the Jets kind of, fiddle-farted around, never really made a threat. Justin Fields had a couple of pretty good runs, but we came up short. 27-21 was the final in the first of 2 games on Monday night. The other one wasn't that great either. The Bengals are terrible without Joe Burrow, only putting 3 points. If you only put 3 points on the board as an NFL team, you got problems.
Bo Nix throws for 320-something. Been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
What you didn't want to watch, the Phantom, but if what you didn't want to watch was replays of Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins.
Ooh.
We got to mark this down for tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
because whoever we get from Phoenix Physical Therapy, hopefully it's Robert Kahn. Brent Vincent would be great. I'm just here to tell you, your leg ain't supposed to point that way.
Robert texted me last night. I was actually doing something else, and I saw my text go off, and he goes, wow, check this out. So definitely talk about that on Wednesday.
Don't watch that, and whatever you do, don't show replays of that, because his
reminds me of the Joe Theis one. Oh, speaking of replays, I have not seen it yet. Actually,
I don't want to see it. I want to look away.
Turn your head. Gurn, is this on the wheel? By the way, if it's on the topic wheel, just save it. But if it's not,
I just don't want to see
I did not
video.
see this last night.
Knee dislocation, ACL tear, pretty much every tendon. I mean, it's William Andrews-esque. Every tendon you could possibly have on that knee got torn. Everyone.
So we lose last night. That's the bottom line. Had a loss to start the week. We don't like it. So what about today, Phantom?
What about him?
We got to go baseball.
Now, my buddy Gunner has been texting me. Gunner, we talked about the Guardians in the first segment, right? When we guys, matter of fact, that was the first thing we talked about. We had chatters screaming at us. The American League Central Division champion Cleveland Guardians did something that nobody has ever done in the divisional series era or ever. They are hosting Wild Card Detroit at noon today in Cleveland. Going to be a good matchup. But yeah, we've been all about the Guardians. I hated that you missed the first segment because I
looked at that.
All about it. Yep.
Gunner looked at that.
Yeah.
But Barry, we're going to go to the game right after that one.
The only game
2:08.
The only game of 4 today. It's going to be glorious. The only game of 4 today in Major League Baseball that isn't on ESPN.
Yes.
It's going to be on ABC.
Over the air network.
This afternoon at 2 Central Time.
From Wrigley Field, where the Chicago Cubs are minus 115, hosting the San Diego Padres that are minus 105. The Padres come into this game as an underdog against the Cubs. You know, Barry, we've been on the Padres a lot this year.
I noticed that.
And the Padres have been good to us. And they got this right-hander on the hill today. Is it Pavetta? Pivetta?
Nick Pivetta.
I think we've been on him before this season. So we're going back. We're taking the San Diego Padres at Chicago today, 2:08. Remember that start time, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want to hear, man, I thought that game was at night. No, this afternoon, 2:08. Don't miss it. That's it. Phantom's Daily Dog, Padres at the Cubs.
Yes, in the wild card series. Great day today. Great day tomorrow. Great day on Friday with on Thursday with just a ton of that. It's going to be outstanding. Best of 3 in the wild card.
Yes, it is. Best of 3. You got to win early. All right. Before we go to break and get to Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 topic, Will.
Yeah.
I wrote this down. I don't know, and I guess I should have looked it up, but got busy. I don't know who the name of the LSU defensive coordinator is, but as I'm watching that game Saturday and Ole Miss is running up and down the field and doing whatever they want, they would show this guy on the sidelines. And every time they showed him, he had a look on his face like, I really shouldn't be here. I don't know what I'm doing. Brian Kelly's probably going to fire me on Monday. I mean, who is this guy? Not only could he not call a defense, but he just looked like he couldn't do it either.
His name is Blake Baker. They got him last year's LSU defense was horrendous. It's actually a bit of an upgrade. Blake Baker came from Missouri. He'd been an assistant at LSU before. John has, if there's anybody who has lived this maxim, it's John. If you don't know what you're doing, at least look like you know what you're doing.
Yes.
You know?
No.
John has a lot of his social life has resolved around the fact that if you didn't get invited, act like you've been invited. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Ringo, play something hot. Hey,
Sure.
half of it is approach. If you're on the sidelines and you're thinking, I can't stop this Ole Miss quarterback to save my life, at least stand up there and look like, oh yeah, we got something for this guy.
Sure. I mean, if you have no clue what's going in Anthropology 204, at least go up to the professor at the end of the class and just start shooting the breeze. Let him know you're there.
Hey, man, really enjoyed the lecture today. That thing you did about the caveman, but that guy knocked it out of the park, Prof. It was great.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Believe me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't
before I go, take the Tide minus 3.5. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Now, I certainly have not taught my boys to go down that same path I went. I'm trying to, tell them to, hey, do the right thing. And not that I did wrong things, but
no.
Hit the book, study for a test, and, be ready to go, which I did, just not enough.
I mean, here and there.
Yeah.
10 before the hour, we'll get to the topic wheel next. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust.
All right.
Yep, here we go. I see it up there.
Yep. Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. We got 6. And we got 8 minutes to get it done. I
think we can handle it.
All curated by our producer, Gurn Jr., who is back. I think he's got a diamond stick pin. He's wearing the top hat. He must have had a good weekend.
Think he did.
Yeah.
Frustrated.
There you go. Frustrated.
Who we got here? Oh, Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah, Jamar Chase. Jamar.
Yeah, come on.
Bengals, again, John pointed this out, lose badly at Denver last night. Broncos win it 28-3. Jamar Chase, who's their best player other than Burrow, says urgency is there, man. It's just you got to want it. At the end of the day, we've got to want it. It didn't look like we wanted it. Here's a true statement. Cincinnati, opening possession, John, right down the field. Marches down the field, 4 first downs, kick a field goal. Took a 3-point lead. The rest of the game, they didn't score, and they had 5 first downs the rest of the game. Whew. I mean, that is Freddie Millen's-esque right there. Right down the field, take an early lead. Here we go. That was it. You could have stopped the highlights right there.
That's so frustrating. Yep. You're thinking, here we go. We're cooking, ready to go. I mean, that's kind of like Alabama against Georgia. If they'd gone in there and scored, not scored again, I get it. I get the frustration.
Yep. One down. Bo Nix throws for 326 yards.
That's frustrating too. Yeah, if you're the opposing team, that's pretty.
He was really good. Bo Nix, sophomore year at Auburn. Ooh. How many of you would have thought he'd be starting NFL quarterback, starting his Barry, 22nd straight game?
When you have a QBR rating of like 87 when you're at Auburn, that's kind of tough.
Is it? Is it really?
That's kind of tough. Yeah.
87. I think they had some American golfers shoot that on.
Yeah, boy.
What was it? Friday at the
No
Ryder Cup.
kidding.
87
Yeah,
is
geez.
87 bad?
Well, out of 131, I think it's pretty bad.
Okay.
All right, let's spin it
Back
again. The
at it.
Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Exit 22 off 85 Shorter, Alabama. Open 24/7, 365. And abusive. Abusive. You must be reading message boards.
Abusive.
Abusive. What do we got here?
Yeah, the Tighter Insiders big on Hugh Freeze. They're very abusive towards
Yeah,
him.
they've been right. The Tighter Insider message board's been pretty good.
All right,
Oh,
abusive.
oh.
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The fans were evidently they had somebody that was kind of like the mic man for the Americans.
Yeah.
At Bethpage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give me a red, give me a white, give me a blue, you know, that kind of stuff. Rory wouldn't have it. Earlier in the week, before the Ryder Cup, he said he thinks America is the greatest country in the world, and he's right. He was telling a group of hecklers to be quiet, will you?
Yeah. He dropped an F-bomb or two. And there again, I think I don't know how they're going to reel this in, Barry. I think they've kind of let it go a little far. I mean, I get
threw beer at his wife.
Come on. Can't
What is
do
this?
that.
Baton Rouge? Come
Really?
on, people.
I don't know how they're going to reel it in because they've kind of let the fans get a little loud and boisterous. I mean, they're quiet when the guys are hitting, but it's not your normal professional golf event.
It's an insult to the sport of golf is what it is.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Aren't you supposed to be? You have preached to us. Golf is a gentleman's
game
with decorum,
yes,
and respect.
Call penalties on yourself.
Okay, yeah, Rory, I think you're justified.
Yeah, Danny, don't.
If you'd have lost out there, everybody would have laughed at you.
Yeah, they would have. They would
got
have.
to win.
But
Okay,
you kind of know that going in. All right, let's spin it again. See what else we got going on.
Sometimes, even if you win a big game on the road.
Yeah.
Some people will say, we didn't run it well enough. Or we gave up too many rushing yards. I'm just using that off the top of my head. Back at it. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Victoryland 777 Casinos. What is it? Open 24/7 still? 365?
365.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah.
The Bomb.
The Bomb. Like lip balm.
Oh, Bomb Stadium in
Yeah.
Paul Feinbaum?
Considering running for Senate.
Who is he? SEC Network host. Is it Feinbaum?
I got to tell you, this kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
When I saw this yesterday.
He's 70 years old. He's looked the same way he looks for like 40 years. He's looked 70 when he was 40.
He did. He just moved back to Birmingham, Barry. He'd been living in Charlotte when he launched his program on the SEC network.
Right.
Has a beautiful home in Mountain Brook. He and his wife, Linda, have purchased and just wanted to get back. And I thought, wow, I mean, you've gone to all this trouble to move back to Birmingham. Now you want to go to D.C.? But I read the interview. I saw the video of his interview he had with Clay Travis. He seems pretty serious about it.
Very affected by the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He would evidently run as a Republican.
Yeah.
He said that, it really shook him to his core.
He's got great name recognition. I don't know if he has as good a name recognition as Big C does. But he's, most people in the state of Alabama know who he is.
It'd be just good if he's in his office, in Tuberville's old office, and his secretary says, "Hey, Senator, legend on line one, tell him shut up. I ain't taking his call."
Yeah, I don't know how
he can do that now, but he could then.
I don't know how Jim from Tuscaloosa is going to take it, but we'll see.
Yeah, all right.
He has till January to make his decision.
You guys on the chat line, would you vote for him? I'm not
he'll
against.
Probably get elected. Yeah,
I'm very smart.
Caught stealing.
Jameis Winston. Let's see.
Oh wow.
Caught stealing. What do we got here, Gurn?
We got some baseball action here.
Oh, People Magazine. Oh, yeah, this is what we talked about earlier. Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
There he is. He runs right by Robert Saleh, who's the 49. Saleh's on the right.
Yeah. Ouch.
Sayla says that Jacksonville is stealing signs.
Huh.
Jacksonville says, yeah, we're
Yeah,
doing it
sure
within the
did.
rules. If you don't
Yeah.
want us to seal your signs, do a better job of concealing them. You know,
Yeah.
it ain't our fault that you're sitting there going, cover 2, rush
Yeah.
3. You know, that ain't, if you can steal them,
I mean,
it's
and
up
what,
to them to make it
what,
harder for you to steal.
wasn't Mac Jones playing fairly well? I mean, yeah, they benched him. I mean, just because the starter got healthy? That doesn't seem very fair.
Yeah.
All right, couple
back
more.
at it.
Let's spin it. See what we got.
Here we go. I want to get to that blue one. That blue one's one of those intriguing.
Yeah.
headlines.
We asked. We asked.
We said poop, so I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
the rules are off.
Ah.
Cam Ward
Ooh.
0-4. Boy, the Texans beat that rear end.
Yeah,
They
did.
shut out the
Yeah.
Titans 26-0. Texans were winless so far. I don't get this. If we keeping it a buck right now, now the kids say that.
Yeah.
That word is
I don't know
lot like
that
the
one.
word ob.
Yo.
It's a noun. It can mean a donkey of sorts. It
Yeah.
can mean your rear end.
Mhm.
Evidently, it's also an adjective.
Yes,
these
it is.
days.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You know, that's a word. You can get it in gear. You can do something half. You know, you can do. That's one of those words you can use for a lot of the. You know, not only do you want to forcefully tell somebody to get out of here, but it has a little extra oomph if you say, "Get your out of here."
That's right. Barry, real quick, it's actually Bob Lockamy, not Will, but I know what she's saying. Will Lockamy be Feinbaum's press secretary? I talked to Lockamy last week. Barry told me to tell you hello.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he told
Lockamy, big fan of the show.
Make sure
Big fan
to
of the show.
tell Barry I said hello. I said, Bob, I certainly will do it. One more to go. Let's
Here we
spin
go.
it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We get on out of here. We got to spin it to make it official.
Yep.
It's kind of like an extra point when the clock hits 0. Lot of dough.
Except
A lot of dough.
we've already covered.
Ooh.
Oh, man, the Mets, what was it, July, Gurn? The Mets in early to mid-July had the best record in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I kid you not. In July, best record in Major League Baseball. They don't make the playoffs. They spent money on Juan Soto. They spent money on pitchers. $340 million. And you know what they get for it? Heartaches. Nothing but heartaches.
All right, Barry, tomorrow on Wednesday's edition, big show tomorrow. CJ Duncan, former Vanderbilt receiver, joins us each and every week. Going to join us to preview Vandy at Bama. Our Phoenix Physical Therapy injury update. Robert Kahn will be with us. A lot of injuries we're going to discuss and the rehab that's involved with them. Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, feeling pretty good about himself after that big Bama win Saturday. He'll join us at the bottom of hour number 2.
Yes. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on all the platforms. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.